I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life, but I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just to have that closure.
Shortly before Caitlyn Clark, Sophie fans were shocked by Cunningham and Lexi Hull, with a huge declaration that's causing shockwaves to travel through the realm of basketball for women. The three of them stood side by side and disclosed a daring new step that nobody anticipated, changing the league's future, generating enthusiasm among fans, and capturing insiders are caught off guard. From decisions to change careers to powerful declarations of solidarity. It's not just it's a game share news. What did they say that made people take notice? All over? Keep an eye out since this announcement is more significant than anyone else's. Anticipated. A surprising partnership, a WNBA move that changed the game. On July 8, 2025, a surprising partnership between three WNBA the most talked about figures shocked ripples across the league. Caitlyn Clark, top draft pick in 2024, whose first season renewed interest in women's rights across the country basketball, teamed up with Phoenix Sophie Cunningham, a Mercury veteran, and Lexi Hull, the rising star for the Indiana Fever. The three did not simply have a friendly encounter. What insiders refer to as a well-planned disclosure took place behind the Indiana Fever training scenes facility, prompting pressing discussions between boardrooms and locker rooms. What gathered these three individuals, each from distinct groups and at radically different phases of their professional lives, isn't just regarding individual aspirations. Together, they suggests a much bigger movement, forming one intended to reshape the cornerstone of women's careers basketball. This occurs at a crucial period in which the WNBA is going through a record-breaking audience size, sponsorship agreements, and international recognition. However, behind the scenes, gamers still to voice long-standing worries about salary, length of career, and the company the game side. Clark offers unparalleled star power and a new generation of fans' vitality. Cunningham provides the substance, knowledge, and the well-deserved respect of her experienced vet. Additionally, although it's early in her path, represents the possibilities of the league tomorrow. Collectively, their collective impact suggests something larger. Perhaps new requirements regarding player rights, improved compensation schemes, better conditions for working, or even an initiative for novice players intended to shield and advance professions from draft the day before retirement. In any case, the timing is deliberate and the world of basketball is paying careful attention. Pay attention. Another noteworthy aspect of this partnership is how it fills up the gaps between generations and teams' rivalries, demonstrating a degree of solidarity that might alter the way choices are made. Across the league, the work of the three seemed to indicate not just a need for opportunity and justice, but also a want to change the WNBA's perception of its participants, not only in marketing but also in enduring investment. Their encounter occurs just as discussions about television rights, league expansion, and CBA talks. These three are coming out at this time probably because they think they're finally using collective leverage the needle in a manner advantageous to everyone, players both current and prospective. This moment is made much more urgent by the increasing players' brand influence, social activists, diplomats, and now as potential change agents for policy. Arenas sold out by Caitlyn Clark, and TV ratings that have broken records haven't merely gathered admirers, they've drew media coverage and corporate funding that used to get around the league. The years Cunningham spent navigating foreign off-season contracts provide a voice of experience to the players' persistent annoyances regarding monetary stability. Additionally, Hull, with her Stanford background and recent arrival, enters the league, speaks for the generation that is still learning how to create a basketball-centered lifestyle. They might be writing the first together. Beginning of a new era in which visibility leads to sponsorships as well as structural modification that genuinely protects the women's basketball's future. Furthermore, what precisely are these celebrities planning? Would it permanently alter the WNBA? Stay tuned. This is something you should not miss. When pay for players, star power, and purpose come together in the 2025 as the WNBA season approaches, excitement grows. But not only regarding rankings or scores. Side of the court, an alternative form of momentum that changes the game is subtly construction. The 8th of July at the Indiana Fever Training Center, An important meeting between Sophie and Caitlyn Cunningham and Lexi Hull made references to anything much more durable than a buzzer-the-beater wins. People related to the league imply that this trio is getting ready to make a daring move that focuses on the cause of the disparity in women's professional basketball. In the center of their cause has been around for a while: player earnings. In spite of the increasing popularity and coverage in the media about even elite athletes frequently play in the WNBA, obtain a small portion of their talent produces for the league. Clark's that reality changed with arrival in 2024. Due of her appearance, arenas have been crowded, driving surpassing 1 million viewers in TV ratings mark, which led to record-breaking sales of merchandise. In short, Caitlyn Clark is now the largest player in the WNBA. Engine of finance. Nevertheless, like her peers, she continues to function under a salary cap that is too tight and devalues her power. Clark's enormous social commercial reach and media following compete with and occasionally surpass those of men players in much larger leagues. That offers her a strong voice by itself. Include the leadership of Cunningham and Hull's growing impact, and you possess an alliance able to confront antiquated systems. Insiders' efforts suggest could extend well beyond selfish interests. It might seek to improve playing standards, wages, working conditions, and league-wide regulations that affect each and every WNBA player donning a jersey, rookie or veteran. Additionally, if they are successful, their movement could serve as a model for the upcoming period in women's sports. What increases the impact of this even further is the timing. Given that the WNBA is going through significant increase in audience size and income, these three participants are taking a step forward when the league is most prepared for change. Their partnership could lead to not simply reforms but a change in culture, where athletes' voices are more powerful in forming the company's image, branding, and the game structure. By connecting their impact with strategic objectives, they're demonstrating that real strength in sports isn't only about the numbers. It has to do with altering the system for subsequent users. Thus, how might this silent motion rewrite the regulations governing each WNBA player? Stay tuned. Everything is altered by this. The authority entails accountability. The movement's mission. As the increased attention to Caitlyn Clark's with each action, a more profound query starts to surface. How is she going to use this rare amount of power to promote the game forward for everybody? Her first season didn't merely make highlight reels glow. It changed the WNBA's entire operations. However, insiders now claim that Clark is searching beyond personal records and recommendations. Behind the scenes in Indiana, her talks with Sophie Hull and Cunningham seem to be establishing the foundation for something significant greater than individual accomplishments. Clark's prominence on the court, speaking via many media channels, provides her the type of power that few women possess basketball players. And she appears to comprehend what power entails. Accountability. Problems are not new. Restricted pay, difficult travel circumstances, as well as a lack of sustained growth support. However, Clark's involvement in what might be a collaborative effort led by players implies that she views her accomplishments as an entryway rather than merely a destination. Sophie, meanwhile, Cunningham provides the dirt and viewpoint of someone who has lived the entire range of the WNBA experience. From fighting through difficult earnings to spend during the off-season abroad only to earn a living, the veteran of the Phoenix Mercury has observed directly witnessing the pressures of the current system gamers to decide between fervor and survival. She performed under antiquated regulations and little publicity, although it was beneficial influence the league's growing visibility enjoys it now. Her international experience paired with years of support for unions presents her as a firm voice that is pushing for practical change that doesn't only on paper. When combined, Clark's Cunningham's insight and momentum produce an uncommon alignment. Alongside Lexi Hull representing the league's prospects, though the trio's cooperation might be just what the WNBA must attract more attention into long-lasting change. Lastly, what made this unlikely trio the WNBA's best chance for long-term change? See more truth by continuing to watch. The link between generations. The voice of Sophie Cunningham in this unfolding motion bears the burden of enjoy season after season, pushing past a system's limitations that frequently returned too little. She's a veteran player was not the only one traded to the Indiana Fever. She is woven into the cloth that enabled the WNBA to rise from ignored to worthy of a headline. She was present with Caitlyn Clark, is strategic rather than merely symbolic. When combined, they create a unique combination of momentum and legacy, a real-life illustration of what occurs when previous hardships collide promise for the future. Analysts are already recognizing the potential implications of this combination. Cunningham's readiness to cooperate alongside younger celebrities such as Lexi and Clark Hull is an indication of strength. An intergenerational cooperation within a league that is in dire need of it. It's a reminder that progress isn't limited to a single period swapping out one, but about constructing something more powerful in tandem. Then Hull is a Stanford standout, and 6th overall in the WNBA's 2022 draft. Still sculpting at a young age her route, yet astute enough to recognize the systemic flaws. Her encounter at among the best women's basketball teams, she had a front-row seat to programs that what organized assistants can do. Now sharing a court with Clark in Indiana. Additionally, Cunningham adds an increasing voice of the generation to the table. One that reflects the aspirations and worries of numerous young athletes are attempting to construct long-term league careers still battling for complete acknowledgement. Hull is more than just a gifted athlete. She represents change. Her choices whether to look for stability, go abroad and take advantage of the off-season chances, or struggle for change here show what many young WNBA players are like at home. Players wrestle in silence. As well as her participation in this expanding project implies that those silent worries might be becoming more united at last. Voice. What is their next course of action? Show how numerous WNBA players are silently having trouble with? Keep an eye on find out. One voice, numerous adventures, a unified front for change unified in support of long-lasting change. What makes this moment of unfolding so special? Involves more than just names. It's the timeliness and coherence among various phases of the career path. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlyn Clark, and there are more than 3 gifted Lexi Hulls. Athletes. They represent a variety of actual WNBA, veteran promise, rookie promise, leadership, and a bright future. Their collaboration implies that what's occurring behind closed doors is more significant, more than a single athlete or group. It makes reference to a conscious effort to change the composition of women's professional basketball. Their cooperation appears to surpass personal objectives, striving instead at underlying problems that players have been in conflict for years throughout the league. Low pay, few opportunities for generating money, and the ongoing requirement to search abroad for monetary security. The star of Clark Power brings cameras and headlines. However, in addition to Cunningham's battle test experience and generational Hulls with wisdom, this trio joins forces. Demands both focus and legitimacy. Examples from the past in professional sports have demonstrated that genuine change frequently starts when athletes from all backgrounds arrive jointly, use our combined might to make better demands. Lockouts in the NBA to the trend in the USWT equal pay battle is evident. Reform is fueled by solidarity. And now the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth. In media, merchandise, and viewership exposure now might be the ideal moment. Encourage gamers to reconsider their worth. Even nevertheless, the existing collective bargaining agreement provides certain safeguards and enhancements. Players continue to express annoyance over salary caps and an absence of long-term protection. As Asiatic and European international leagues keep providing more profitable contracts, this worldwide disparity only increases the WNBA's pressure leadership to change. Using the game expanding more quickly than before and becoming commercial value skyrocketing, the actual window, perhaps structural transformation, is opening up more greater than it has ever been. Additionally, how did inconspicuously foreign leagues surpass the WNBA paid? Watch closely to see what follows. Timing, impact, and this is not only a season. at risk for the future. As anticipation grows as the WNBA season approaches, fans are already posing the important queries. Does this team make it to the end? Is this the year the Indiana Fever ultimately emerges as the team to defeat? However, behind the commotion about rivalries and rosters, something much more transformative is emerging. The recent joint timing declaration about Caitlyn, Cunningham, Sophie, and Hull Lexie cannot be more important. It lines up with significant changes taking place in women's basketball, discussions on expansion, and long-term broadcast agreements, and important choices regarding the league's future course. For players, this is not merely a season. This is a pivotal moment. With the spotlight blazing more brilliantly than before, the potential for activism led by athletes has never been more powerful. This new period reflects effective movements in other sports in which sportsmen have applied their forums to advocate for improved compensation, conditions of employment, as well as a seat at the table for making decisions. Why this modern gamers now have a unique moment. Manage their own communication. Social media has allowed them to directly reach millions of many admirers and the ability to influence the public dialogue. Clark, whose rivals have the largest online following athletes in international sports, possess the capacity to start that discussion at scale. However, genuine change doesn't originate from just one voice. Unity is the source of it. And this is precisely what indications of cooperation. Hull as well as Cunningham adds believability layers, symbolizing the difficulties of the past and the upcoming generation that will receive whatever results from this moment. With the league's quick expansion, increasing viewership, crowded stadiums, and revitalized corporate interest, the participants are in a position to influence more than just games. They're assisting in the creation of the rulebook for what professional basketball for women will appear for many years to come. And each and every choice taken now could have repercussions. Generations that are still awaiting their shot. 3 voices then arose. Above the cacophony. Are they rewriting? What is the WNBA's future? Continue to observe. A pivotal moment in the game and beyond, alongside Sophie Cunningham, Caitlyn, and Lexi Hull taking a joint step forward. Now curiosity focuses on what they hope to alter and how much they really do have a vision. They're not only is influence remarkable, but it's unparalleled in the present environment of professional basketball for women. And now July 2025 marks the arrival of their collaboration. At a crucial juncture for the WNBA is an increasingly popular league. Despite being faster than ever, wrestling having ingrained structural problems that have been left unsolved for many years. These 3 athletes' apparent movements to represent could deal with important worries and problems that WNBA players face raised repeatedly. Low pay, difficult travel plans, restricted support throughout the off-season. These issues aren't new, but they are now being called out by voices. Never been greater or louder. Powerful. In Season 2 of her tenure with the Indiana Fever are more than just a basketball team. She is a major force in the media. Her capacity to draw consistently crowds that break records, push TV ratings that surpass 1 million, and motivate sales of products have elevated her to one of the players with the highest commercial value in the history of the league. When a person has such a platform takes the initiative to work with a veteran Sophie Cunningham's voice, which contributes accumulated experience in navigating the fluctuations of the professional basketball for women and emerging leaders similar to Lexi Hull, the message turns into unavoidable. They're not only defending themselves. They're defending each and every player, former, both now and in the future, who merits a. Together, they could have the ideal pairing to confront the outdated framework and create something much more strong, sustainable, and inclusive. What do you think, then? Could this strong partnership between Cunningham, and Hull have a genuine spark? WNBA change? We want to know what you think in the remarks. Remember to like, share, and sign up.